Hello, welcome to Life After the Family Home. Smart conversations about downsizing and planning the next chapter. Today's conversation is about something that often surprises homeowners. The idea that downsizing can actually improve your lifestyle. Now, for many people, that may not be the first thought that comes to mind, because when people hear the word downsizing, they often think of giving something up. Less space, fewer rooms, a smaller home. And on the surface, that can feel like a step backward. But what many homeowners discover is that downsizing is not really about having less. It's about living differently. And, in many cases, living more comfortably. This is something that real estate professional Skip Benton has seen many times over the years. Homeowners who begin the process with hesitation and later realize that the change improved their day-to-day life in ways they didn't expect. Because over time, the needs we have from our home begin to change. In earlier years, space is important. Room for a growing family, extra bedrooms, large living areas, storage for everything that comes with a busy household. But as life evolves, those needs often shift. The house may still be the same, but the lifestyle inside it is different, and that's where this conversation begins. For many homeowners, downsizing creates something valuable: simplicity. Less to maintain, less to clean, less to manage, and more time to focus on what matters most. Time with family, time for travel, time for personal interests, instead of weekends being spent on yard work or home maintenance. Many homeowners find themselves with more flexibility, more freedom in how they spend their time. That's one of the first benefits people begin to notice. Another is how the home itself begins to feel more usable. In larger homes, it's common for entire areas to go unused. Rooms that are rarely entered, spaces that no longer serve a purpose, serve a day, and while those rooms still exist, they no longer contribute to daily life. In a well-chosen, downsized home, every space tends to be used more intentionally. Every room has a purpose, and the home begins to feel more efficient, more aligned with everyday living. There's also the financial side to consider. For many homeowners, downsizing can reduce ongoing expenses, lower utility costs, reduced maintenance, and sometimes a more predictable monthly budget. That doesn't mean downsizing is always about saving money, but it often creates more control and more flexibility in how resources are used. Another benefit that often comes up is location. Some homeowners choose to downsize, not just to a smaller home, but to a location that better fits their lifestyle, closer to family, closer to amenities, or in communities designed for convenience and accessibility. And that can have a significant impact on daily life. Shorter drives, easier access, a greater sense of connection. What's interesting is that many homeowners don't fully recognize these benefits at the beginning, because the emotional side of leaving a long-time home can feel like the most important factor. And that's completely understandable. The family home represents years of memories, important moments, a sense of familiarity that is hard to replace. But over time, many homeowners begin to see downsizing differently. Not as leaving something behind, but as moving towards something new, a lifestyle that fits where life is today and supports where life is going. That shift in perspective is important because it changes the conversation from what am I losing to what am I gaining? And for many people, the answer becomes clear over time. Less stress, less upkeep, more flexibility, and a home that feels easier to live in. That's something that Skip Benton has seen consistently. Homeowners who approach downsizing thoughtfully often find that their quality of life improves, not because the home is larger, but because it fits better, fits their needs, fits their routines, and fits the way they want to live moving forward. Of course, downsizing is not the right choice for everyone. Some homeowners truly love their homes and choose to stay exactly where they are, and that's perfectly valid. But for those who begin to feel that their home is no longer aligned with their lifestyle, it's worth exploring the possibilities, not with urgency, not with pressure, but with curiosity and with a willingness to consider what might make life simpler, more comfortable, and more enjoyable. Because at the end of the day, a home is meant to support your life, not complicate it, and sometimes a change in space leads to a meaningful improvement in how life feels day to day. So if you've ever found yourself wondering, would life be easier in a different kind of home? That thought alone is worth exploring, Because the goal is not simply to downsize. The goal is to live well. Thank you for joining this conversation about life after the family home. Smart conversations about downsizing and planning the next chapter. And I'll see you in the next conversation.